It's a character trait based on someone's perseverance, effort, and determination. It's resilience to achieve a goal or preserve life. Grit, presented by BF Goodrich Tires. Stories from the other side of the steering wheel.
Hi, how you doing? My name is Diezel Krentz, and I'm from, that's a really hard question. If you wanted to send me a letter, you would send to my mother's house in Hendersonville, North Carolina, so I would imagine that is my address. But where I'm from, nobody knows. Where I was born, though, where I actually came out of the most perfect woman ever on earth, is in Tacoma, Washington on an army base. And it cost about $7.90 to have me born, and I've been one hell of a price tag ever since. So my life growing up was constantly changing. So I always joke around and say I'm a really great new kid. Where I grew up, I would have to say memory of growing up, it just flutters. I remember some early life in New York, which a lot of memories and things learned happened in New York, but it was probably Utah, actually, right outside of Salt Lake City. And my aunts and stuff like that all lived there. And we traveled to Reno, Nevada, to the other side of the family. So majority of my childhood, well, and then there was Idaho. I actually spent a ton of time in Idaho. That was a great time too. So I would say my childhood consists of amazing sledding in the snow in Idaho. We're actually seeing on Thanksgiving, they butchered a cow right there in the parking lot, but that's another story. That really happened. But, so it's probably Salt Lake. I remember Idaho as a blast, so I've got to throw Idaho in there. Pocatello, I think was, I'm not 100% sure about that, but Reno. So probably Reno, Nevada, Salt Lake City, and I really loved Idaho as part of my childhood, for sure. My childhood was a lot like the movie Terminator. My mother felt this amazing burden to just experience me to all kinds of boy stuff. So I got a lot of experiences. She really but just provided so many experiences. So the adventures were nonstop and they were go, go, go. So my childhood was definitely super active, adventurous. I never knew what was gonna happen the next summer. And my mom always kept adventures happening, and it was a constant. So my childhood was pretty amazing, for sure. After high school, it was a little bit of a, I don't know, a situation for me, you know, and my father lived in Nevada, so I'd seen him for some summers, and we really didn't have that close of a relationship, and I was just struggling, and my mom made a couple comments. She says, "Man, I've managed to keep you away from that guy for 18 years, and you act just like him." So that was just something that I wanted to do. I wanted to go experience time with my father, and he was a very experienced stock car racer that raced all over the West Coast. Definitely in the history books of racing from the early 70s all the way up with his family. So I moved. I flew out, and we're just gonna try it. So I flew out. I get off the airplane, and we went straight to the racetrack. And my father gave me the keys to this Carol Yarborough Oldsmobile Special Edition, and it had a Rocket 350 in it. A car that would probably be worth so much money right now. We didn't know what we were doing. And he threw me the keys. He's like, "Go out there, it's your turn to practice." And so I'm driving around the racetrack, had no clue what was going on, and I'm on the back straightaway, just driving, zero experience, zero know-how, had no idea. I think my dad and his buddies were just laughing at me at this point in time. So I come on a back straightaway and another car crashed into me. It just bumped into me, so I stopped. And I just sat there, and they threw the yellow, and the official came running to my door and says, "Is everything all right?" I'm like, "Well, I don't know, man. He just crashed into me." So my dad was completely embarrassed about that. So that was my first racing experiences. I was ready for the cops to come. I was practicing what really happened because it wasn't my fault. But that was my first racing experience. And so, you know, I pulled in. Obviously, my dad realized I had no clue of what was going on, and then just started advancing and actually lived to have an amazing racing career after that. Like my father, like I said, kind of the slow end to my racing career is we're always in different cars. We never put our power together, and I'm not saying it was a competition that was negative. It's a Krentz family thing. Our competition is all about love, but it is very competitive. We can't even check the mail without betting $1 who can get to the mailbox first. So the whole family, like the whole Krentz side of the family, is very racing oriented. And my racing career was at its high, and I was winning. Like, I didn't go to the racetrack for doing anything else except to win a race. It doesn't matter where I was going. If I've never been there before, it was that. So I was kind of wanting to maybe try, you know, new things. And I've always loved dirt bikes, and I've always, you know, raced dirt bikes and did all that. So I got on a dirt bike, and silly me, I stayed out drinking too late, and I got to accept responsibility. We went out riding the dirt bike the next day, and I couldn't hang on anymore, and we were trying to work on some corner speed and getting that stuff up. I washed out. The bike flexed a little bit. I went up on the bars, panic throttled, got back under control, hit the bottom of a pretty gnarly table, panic throttled again, ripped it, and then it was history. Hit the ground, instantly back broke. Oddly enough, it happened so quick, but you think about your life, right? And like in that moment, I was rolling down the dirt bike track, and I could feel my legs underneath me, and I was rolling out of them. And instantly I remembered when our parents put us to sleep, and me and my cousins, we were fighting around in the bedrooms trying to go to sleep, and our sleeping bags would be up underneath us all rolled up. Like, oddly enough, I thought about that when I was laying in the dirt. So I break my back, and it was kind of a weird deal. I handled it pretty good. You go to the hospital, and you know the nurses. I'm on the way to the hospital, and I guess the nurses in the ambulance have cut my clothes, boots, everything completely off. And I remember saying, I'm like, I'm in a neck brace, backboard, all that stuff, and I'm like, hey, you know what? I think I'm starting to feel some tingling. I think I just pinched a nerve. I think if you guys could just take my boots off, I think just let me breathe a little bit. And he goes, hey, I don't know how to put this. You don't have any clothes on. So that was probably the moment I realized, I'm like, oh God, stick a fork in me, I'm done. And I'm not a big basketball fan. That's all wheelchair people can really do. So I was getting really kind of bummed. And so we go to the hospital, and it was instant Lifetime TV channel. It was absolutely a crazy experience. My whole family showed up, was tons of support. The first time I probably cried like a little baby is when my mom and my older sister, Monica, actually had to bathe me. That was a pretty hard hard situation, but the whole hospital and everything was a great experience, and we had a great experience with the therapist, and I really, we were there for 40 days, and we were getting ready to leave, and all the stuff, like, they put me in a parachute and tried to drop me on a treadmill thinking my legs would kick in, or, you know, I was in a wheelchair and they were trying to get me to, you just use your legs, all that stuff. When we're getting out, we're all good. My mom's there, I'm there, and I'm getting checked out of the hospital. And Jackie was my main therapist, and she asked if I heard about a coffee bean. Well, I didn't know what she was talking about. So she goes, all right, well, I just want to read you this poem. I'm like, all right. So we're sitting there, my mom's there, the other nurses, they got kind of weird. You know, everybody's kind of coming in, and she reads this poem about this young lady that's going through a rough time in her life. And the mom brings her in the kitchen and says, all right, there's 3 pots of boiling water. These 3 pots of boiling water is going to represent something gnarly, like a hard time in life. And these vegetables, we have eggs, carrots, and coffee beans. These are different personality types. So they put the food in the boiling water, and the daughter's kind of, you know, like they are, and she scoops out the egg. And she says, can you see what happened to the eggs? She goes, yeah, Mom, it's cooked. She goes, well, we're going to try to think of a personality type. That egg at first was very fragile. Very fragile. Its shell was fragile. When you got into it, it's very fragile. When it got subjected to a hard time, that egg became this solid, you know, non-fragile situation, right? And then the carrots. Well, the carrots came in. They were crisp, strong. They could support their own weight. Once you put in that pot of boiling water, they became soggy and moist, and they became fragile and they're weak. And then she scooped out the coffee beans, and she said, how did the coffee beans change? And the little girl, she goes, well, Mom, I get it. The coffee beans didn't change. The mom goes, you don't get it. Look at the hard time. The boiling water, which changed all these people, is changed. The coffee beans took their situation and changed it. And she goes, you're the coffee bean in the hospital. Oh God, my mom's crying. I'm crying. I'm like, let's get out of here, Mom. I can't do it. And Jackie gives me a big hug, and the nurses are crying. It was. I got a little dramatic there. But that was probably a life-changing moment in me, as far as any moment you get into, like, try to change the situation that you're in instead of, you know, blaming other people for your situation. Accept responsibility and try to change whatever comes. And, you know, there's a lot of things that you can do, I guess. I don't know what I'm getting, but be the bean, be the coffee bean. That's what this story means. Yeah, so that ended the racing career, not because I don't think I could race anymore, because we did race shortly after that, and I did extremely well. The car actually suffered an ignition failure, and we were working up to the front and having a very good race, but it was a very slow class. The class was not extreme, and I definitely took my racing to the next level. So we tried to race in the next level, and I just couldn't control my legs. We'd go in the turn, and my legs would end up in the passenger side of the car. And I for the first time in my life, was afraid of racing stock cars. Not really for my own safety, but, you know, maybe hurting somebody else, you know, because I couldn't do it. So that was the demise of my racing, and it was, you know, in 06. That was the demise of the race car driver. I never imagined to get back into racing. That was never, I mean, it's in my blood. It's in my blood. It always will be. It's just a family thing. But I think the decision just grew. It just grew. Like a couple years ago, I was having a really rough time, and I planned this. Sorry, Mom, about this. Where's she at? But I took a trip and I was planning on not coming back. Like, I gave my stuff away, I sold everything, I took care of plans, everybody knew what to do with my things, and I could not live life the way I wanted to. I was going to take a trip, do all the great things that I ever wanted to do, and then just be like, man, my life's amazing. I was a stripper. I was a caliber athlete with wrestling, with football. I jumped out of an airplane. I bungee jumped. Like, everything in my life, I'm complete, and this caliber of life that I'm living it's not doing it for me. And so it's going to be an accident. You know, you can have accidents off-roading pretty quick. Well, we're on this trip, and I just kind of connected with this Jeep, and it brought back beauty, and it was by myself. I'm in the Tillamook Forest was another thing. I was by myself, and I'm battling in a very new situation. There's nobody around for miles. If anything would have happened, it was very adrenaline. It was adrenaline, and it was something that brought so yeah, Jeeping and in the world of Jeeping and all the people around it brought me back to waking back up almost like after the accident. I'd try, and then after I was walking again, I hit that wall where I wasn't improving. There's no improving. Like, I'm at that point. So yeah, that's a hard situation. And then yeah, I started just meeting the Jeep family in the Jeep world, and they just took me in. And yeah, if you're watching this and you're part of that Jeep world that has spent that moment with me, it's very special. The whole King of the Hammers thing was always a dream. You know, I'm always wanting to test myself, and so we did the roll cage, and we did it straight to 120. Well, I started. I'm always, like, it was always there, but I didn't really build this Jeep to race. But I constantly was building the Jeep to match the rules, I guess, if you could say, to kind of work on it. And it just started working, and Jeremy Pierick raced the King of the Hammers, and I'm like, well, shoot, man. I mean, I got the greatest support and the greatest people behind me to try to accomplish this situation, and I think I want to try to do this. And for me to even do it, there's a guy, Chris Magro, that I would trust my life to in a heartbeat. And as soon as he said yes, it just took over from there. And then we developed a race team, and then there was no backing out. So there's just, like, the three of us in this Jeep is just a special. It's a good bond. It's a good thing. So that's probably what got us here. You know, life is so difficult, and then, you know, you're out on the road and you're, you know, doing something difficult in your Jeep that you work hard, and you have that brother or sister that works with you, and it's almost like therapy, you know. And I just think the group around us is we're all good for each other. We're all completing each other as a group. And yeah, that's how we dedicate all of our time just to do this, go in this motion. The expectation, I think, yeah, I don't think there isn't. I don't think I have an expectation. I really don't. I expect all of us to get closer as a family and closer as a team. And I think I'm more fearful than anything because we did one lap. We tried to do a lap and we broke. We tried to do and then when we did our full lap, we actually completed a full lap. We broke the rear sway bar. So at the end of that race, when we got back to the loop, we made one full loop. We got back and I'm like, holy crap, that was the absolute craziest thing I have ever done for a long time. So I don't have any expectations because I know how amazing, and I don't expect on lap 2 the rocks are gonna be in the same situation as lap 1. I expect Chris to take care of me, and he expects me to take care of the car. And if we make it 10 feet or we make it 3 laps, that's what is in the book. Like, that's what's gonna happen. I think our team has the expectation that we're just gonna try our best. So that's my expectation, is just to try our best. I think that's it. I'm a manly man, so I cover my emotions very quick. But when we pulled in, when we pulled back into the pit after qualifying, and Chris and I were unbuckling and we're discussing of how we don't want to let anybody down. And we were just discussing on, man, we could have done this better, we could have done this better, we did this good, and we were just evaluating. And then next thing you know, here comes the family, here comes the Stacked Offroad, race team, and they were happy. And as soon as the tears wanted to hit, I think we both just went into our song and dance as, I wish we could have done better for you guys. We wish we could have done this or that. And everybody's like, oh no, that was so great. Like, that was awesome, watch on the big screen. And so the emotions are to cry for instead of to die for. You guys see it? The emotions were to cry for, but I covered it up with a lot of masculinity, Old Spice, and alcohol real quick. But my coach, Jeremy Pierrick with Rock Crawler, that is a true meaning of family. And I don't know how that guy has time for everybody, but he's almost like Santa Claus. Like Santa Claus delivers toys all over the country. That's how he has time for everybody. Like he is an amazing, and that's why I call him Coach. He's my coach, and he's 100% supportive of what we do, and I'm pretty positive he's proud of, even though we didn't qualify the fastest, we were the slowest, but we qualified at a great pace and ran a great run, and I know he's proud, and we're going to carry those people into starting this race. As far as the experience that Chris and I are sitting on, that's pretty powerful. I can't forget the most special one of all, and that's Wheeling with CF. Her dad is Alyssa Magro's father, and he's my co-driver, and she is probably our biggest supporter as far as fans. So Wheeling with CF, you're staring at it right here. It's just another person that's gone through gnarly situations, and man, just kept her head up and inspires me and a lot of people. Super nervous. obviously I'm nervous about finishing and succeeding, but it's obviously, well, not obviously, but I'm nervous about physically, because it's just a one lap kind of beat the crap out of us. I'm not really used to this type of racing, so just doing everything I can. Obviously I'm nervous. I can't even talk. I can't talk regularly, and I'm like stumbling on everything. But yeah, just drinking water with electrolytes in it, and trying to just reserve my energy. It's hot, so I'm trying to stay in the shade, so when I get in the car I have a full charged diesel to try to accomplish this task, because it's going to be a long 2 hours, that's for damn sure. So yeah, it's fun watching the crew working really hard. I feel comfortable about the car, and I feel like we're going to have a good showing, but I know to do that I need to take care of myself, so that's what I'm doing now.
Preparing for the race?
I am. I'm studying the course. I can't get us lost again today. Got to make sure I call out my hazards and keep them on the right line. Qualifying was crazy a little bit. We had got one pre-run lap on it, so we felt we knew we were going to get choked up. But once we took off and we got in the first wood section, we got a little confused. So we lost a little time there, but we made great time in the choke point between the rocks. It was a great lap for us, I thought. I mean, we're way under horsepower compared to the other cars.
To the 2021 Method Race Wheels Teardown in Tennessee.
I try to keep him calm. Told him he's right now sitting third. He's making good pace. No flats, which is great. You can see all the cars coming through are flat. So told his co-driver to keep him calm, stay focused, pick your lines, and you'll have a good race. So we're hoping for a podium finish for old Diezel.
That was a big adrenaline rush for sure. Pretty exciting. They're running great. Yeah, we can wish them the best and hope they keep on moving through.
I'm proud of him. It's a little apprehensive because he hasn't been in a car for so long racing, but I trust him and he trusts himself. So as long as he has confidence in himself and he's got the backing of some wonderful people, and I'm just happy for him that he's going forward with his life. You know, you don't know if you don't try.
So apparently we got a flat tire on the trail, and they already swapped it out. So when they come back in, we just need to do put a new one on the spare and take the old one out. So that way they're good to go when they go back in.
So Diezel just got through. They're on their last lap here in Tennessee. Had to fix a few things, change a spare. Front sway bar broke, so we got that zip tied up and just kind of tied out of the way. They're closing the start-finish line because it's becoming towards the end of the race. They judge it by lap times. So as long as they feel that Diezel can finish his last lap in time, they're going to let him through, and it looks like they just did. So Diezel is currently sitting third. He's got to catch second place, which is broken about a mile on the course on their last lap. So if he can keep steady, keep fast, and keep smooth, he should be on the podium as he comes around for his final lap.
This is so exciting. Like I'm breathless right now. This is awesome.
Setting down the entrance, so I'm like, you gotta go.
Yeah, I know.
You gotta go.
Were they talking about him specifically or just in general?
In general, they shut it down because we're past the time.
Because I could see him visibly get pissed when we were trying to rush him out while he's trying to drink.
Yeah, no, but
he'll understand, man.
Yeah.
We were just this close to not making
an extra minute, and he's stuck one lap behind, so there's no way to get a second place.
Nah, man, heat of the battle, you know.
That's awesome,
everybody's
man.
tense.
So when they just came in for pit, we had to change out the spare tire. There was a ratchet strap hanging from the rear, got that out of the way. And the front sway bar was broken, so we went ahead and just tied it up so they could keep on moving and get started on that third lap.
It's crazy. I really wanted to see my dad go fat or try and keep this second or first, but podium is really good.
Sounds like you might be second.
Probably. But still, podium is really good.
Congratulations on that. When's the next race for?
Holy
That was awesome.
I can't believe that Chitty Chitty Bang Bang finished. Dude, I'm gonna pass out now.
Take your breath. Come on, breathe. Hey, look, it's still right here.
Other end on this one.
I gotta get out.
Gotta breathe.
I'm curious to get his feedback on how it handles the last lap. the last lap. Not that it matters. It came
Yeah.
Good?
Oh, hi.
You're good.
Dad.
ready to race. It's right there on the
Dad.
back of that side by side. Side by side windshield got a
I don't know if I'm gonna pass out or not.
Breathe.
Stay on the ground, man.
Wanna help get that off?
Yeah, can we get that stripped off the top half at least?
That steering sucks. I gotta turn it 100 times just to turn. How much broken?
Well, your front sway bars links are completely trashed.
Yeah, that must have been what was so
And
loud.
your flat was due to the bent wheel.
Oh yeah, the inside.
Yeah, it's trashed.
We heard it right when it hit. It just shot, but is that sway bar conking the bottom of the Jeep? It honestly sounded like
We only got one side tie wrap. What happened on that last lap was they were threatening to checkered flag you instead of white flag you if you stayed in the pits much longer, so we had to rush you out. John was busy working on just tie wrapping up.
You should have seen the vehicle. We had to flip back over.
On this last lap?
Yeah.
How'd you do it? Just nose him over?
Hell, I didn't do. I didn't know what the fuck to do. Chris goes, check it out. I'm like, hell, they can use the winch. We couldn't even get out. And I was like right in the middle of the way, and then we winched him and pulled us way over. And when we went off, it was just we just sailed it off. We just sailed it off.
That's the game plan right now. You notice y'all kind of forgot to pull it back in.
Okay, no, we're good. Oh,
That was from 41.
all right. Woo! All right, guys! Oh my God, that was the most intense thing.
Can we go to the bar now?
The new motto is finish and to the bar. That's it. We beat the shit out of this thing. Well. Tell me about it. Yeah. All right, Mom, take me home.
Go drink some water.
The first 15 minutes we were just watching you.
Fifth in the 4,500-pound maximum class. I believe this is the way it's going to stay. It should be third place to Wayne Garrison, second place to Cody Sinclair, in top of the box, Jesse and Oliver. I believe there are only two 4,600-pounder drills.
So we started at the bottom of 41, and we nailed it. We nailed it, and I didn't expect. We were having our own victories. We were having our own victories internally that we made it that far. And then at the top of the hill was just a bunch of fans. We don't know who was up there. We just know it was familiar faces, and there was cameras and cheering, and
that helped.
And Chris instantly said, right, keep in the line, keep in the line. Don't get crazy, because
Pay no attention.
I could hear his heart starting to beat right in that moment. Then we just got in our groove. We were clicking, and we had some gnarly downhill section. We came around, there's cars flipped over, and other cars that were just turning around backwards in trees. It was the worst nightmare. And we knew we were going to turn a second lap.
Yeah.
We knew we were going to turn that second lap.
You had no idea we were turning third.
No, and that thing was clinking and rattling. People were asking me questions. I didn't know what to say. I didn't know what to do. I was like, I just want to go. And then when they were shouting, go, 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 I'm like, I have water. I threw it. Did I throw it outside the car? Yeah, I hit the window and it hit me back in the head. And I'm looking at that Maverick, and I started hearing, yo, go, go, go. It was so surreal. It was like a horrible video game. Holy crap, I can't believe it. We came in to all our greatest friends and family cheering, and instantly it felt good. And we were definitely going to end it. We used to be to the front, but now I'm going to change it, but your ending's still the same. Are you ready?
Oh.
Finish!
Wait. Hold on.
No, hold on. Spare moment, ready? First we finish.
Then we go to the bar.
To the bar. Yeah, we're
Drink
super
water.
stoked.
Lots of water.